Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Where today we're going to be talking about one of the best topics in the world, art. So, what is art? There are basically three forms of art. The first one is green. If you've ever seen green art, it's actually kind of beautiful because green art is my favorite kind because it is made of one solid color and it looks like one color. How am I only at 30? I feel like I ran out of ideas already. So the first topic is the green. The green art is based on the one color. The one color is typically purple. Well, there's only one color, so I don't know what other examples you want me to give, but there's only, purple. Every green art is purple, but what do you do with the purple? You might think that, oh, this is pretty important, but in actuality, it's kind of shitty. I can swear. I can do what I want. What am I gonna get demonetized? Not monetized to begin with. So y'all can shut up. So my thoughts are as quote. Okay, there's three kinds of art, right? The first one is green art, where everything's purple. The second kind of art has to be then square or rectangular art. They're kind of interchangeable because everyone knows that all squares are rectangles, but not all squares are rectangles. But all rectangles are no. All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangulars are squares are squared. So if you take a rectangle squared, that gives us shit. That's the second kind of art. Everything's a rectangle. So either we have first art, green art, everything's green. Second art, called squared art or rectangular art, where everything is kind of squared or rectangular. And our third kind of art is titled, what's a random word? No, not random word. I actually know all this stuff already. It's called, I can't think of anything. I can't think of any kinds of art that could possibly exist. Fruit art. Yes, that's the third kind, is fruit art. Now, what is a fruit art? You see, fruit is common these days because most people think that, oh, fruit exists, right? And for you 21 people that are watching this podcast, you already know that I, like many others, I'm a big fan of fruit. So naturally, fruit would be the biggest subject of debate. But most people can't really agree on what kind of fruit a strawberry is, because a strawberry can either be a red fruit or a green fruit. People think it's green because of the green stem. Naturally, it makes the most sense to me personally. But when it goes towards the red, how is it red? I mean, I understand that the base of the strawberry that you're eating is red, and I do understand that may be the majority of the strawberry itself, but lip smacks. At the end of the day, you don't have the strawberry. You ate it. At the end of the day, it's eaten. All you have is the stem. No one eats the stem except for me. I eat the stem because I don't feel like walking to the garbage can like everyone else. I'm too lazy to do that, so I eat the stem. No composting, because that's bad for no, composting is good for the environment. You should do it. I would compost, but it's fucking 40 degrees outside in the negatives. Fahrenheit or Celsius? I don't know Kelvin. So, like, when you eat a strawberry, you usually have the stem left, unless you're me. And when you have like little green leaves, that shows what the strawberry truly is and what it's meant to be. Yeah, you ate the red part. You didn't want it there, so you got rid of it by eating it. You clearly got rid of the part that's unappealing, the worst part. Ironically, strawberries do not have peels, which is why they're unappealing. However, bananas are very appealing because they have a peel. How is this related to art? I don't know. Why have I swore like 4 times this episode when I normally swear like once max? I don't know. I'm bored. I have nothing else I gotta do right now. I have a lot of free time, so I figure recording a podcast is the best thing to do, and I also figure art is the only basis that I haven't covered. So Gotta make the art episode. Gotta make the art ep. Episode 9, podcast, episode 9, art. It's a catchy title, and it does not overflow the YouTube character limit of titles, which is kind of the only basis I have for judgment. And we are 5 minutes into this. Let's stretch this out as much as I can. And I'm honestly not running out of things to talk about because somehow I always have something on my mind. I'm always thinking about things. Why is that? Because I am a broken individual. So my brain does not run out of topics to talk about, which is perfect for a podcast because in a podcast you always need to have something to think about, right? Because there's never any time where nothing is being said, except for times like these. Now, wasn't that uncomfortable? I waited for a bit, and you heard nothing. You were left alone with you and your thoughts. Not those kinds, but this kind. So, when you're alone thinking, what do you think about? Because right now, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm just alone thinking about random shit. Stuff. Cut that out. I can do that. Edit that in post. I'm too lazy. I don't swear. Ignore the fact that anyone could download an episode of my podcast and cut out a sample of me swearing and edit that into a video. Ignore the fact that everyone now has samples of me saying like every word and can use that against me using a text-to-speech AI. Those are things. Text-to-speech AIs exist. They exist. Unfortunately, you aren't able to replicate my charisma, which doesn't exist. Most people think that I have fingers. However, they would actually be sadly true. I do have fingers. I have a whole 10 of them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, skip a few, 10. I only have 4 fingers, but we round them up to 10 because that's true. I don't even have 4 fingers. I don't know why I lied about that. Oh, Goku. He's falling off his skateboard, and then little girl comes, and then he hits her with a skateboard, and then he shoots her. What? That's a strange gif. Gotta cover both bases. You never know who might be listening. Might be the spies from the NBA, or might be the spies from the NBA. You never know when you're on the run, which I am always doing. I like running. I do not like running. Running's tiring, actually. Don't do it. But speaking of art, ever seen Shrek? I have. Shrek's actually a pretty good film. If you haven't seen it, yeah, you have. What are you talking about? You've seen Shrek, but maybe you've not seen Shrek 2. If you haven't seen Shrek 2, watch that one. That was good too. If you haven't watched Shrek 3, watch that one as well. It's also pretty good. Personally, I think Shrek 1 is the best, probably because nostalgia exists, but and then I think Shrek 2 is a bit worse than that, but still really good. And then Shrek 3 is a bit worse than that again, but still, again, really good. And then Shrek 4 is just as good as Shrek 3. Like, they're the same. They both have the same nostalgia bias. They're both at that level of, I don't really care. They have no nostalgia for these films. I just think they're decent. They're good films. I don't care. I can't review films. My standing goes Shrek 1, best. Shrek 2, second best. Shrek 3, third best. And Shrek 4, third best. Shut up, I know my ordering is weird. Shrek 4 should be 4th best. That's not true. It's not the 4th best. It's just as good as Shrek the 3rd. People say Shrek the 3rd sucks. And no, it's a Shrek movie. How bad could it possibly be? I haven't watched it in forever. I've watched Shrek 1 way more times. I watched Shrek 3 like twice. Not even 3 times. Why? Because I don't have any reason to go back to that film. I don't have any reason to go back to any film. I don't watch films. The only film I watch is Barbie. Next I'm watching Barbie Princess and the Pauper. Pauper. Paupre. That's French for shut up. The thing is, I can't make any jokes on here. There's no jokes I can make on my podcast, and normally I make a lot of them, even when alone. Like, I just exist. Like, even when I'm just chilling, I make a lot of jokes, but the thing is, all my jokes are situational. I've probably talked about this before on the podcast, but I want to talk about it again, because I repeat things. That's what I do. All my jokes I make are situational. What situation am I in? The only joke I can make is the Audacity joke, because I'm currently just staring at my Audacity screen while this is recording. Like, what are you doing? Get a life, loser. We're about 10 minutes in now, so plus the intro music, which takes up like 3 seconds. Do you like the intro music? I think it's fun. It goes. And that's not the intro music. That's Pokemon music. Rustboro City from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire. They're all the same games, all 4 of them. Why'd I think of the remakes first? I don't know. I played them first when I was younger. Then I played Omega Ruby first when I was young, and then I played Ruby when I was older. Like Omega Ruby was my second game I ever played. First game I ever played was Pokemon Sinnoh Region. Pokemon Pearl was my first game, and then I played Pokemon Omega Ruby, and then I played Pokemon Sun, and then Ultra Sun. And then I played Pokemon Sword. And then I played Pokemon Ruby. And then I played Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. Yeah, that's kind of my Pokemon experience. I've tried out every Pokemon game. I've attempted them all, but I've only finished those ones that I've mentioned. I did not finish one on the Game Boy, actually. I got like pretty far, and then I just kind of lost the file. Because I had it saved on my computer. Because I have the game on a Game Boy. I don't know why I just don't play it on the real Game Boy. I have the game. I have all the Pokemon games on the Game Boy. I have Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow. I have all the cartridges for them all. Like I could just pop out the Game Boy and the cartridge and put them in and play them, but I chose to not do that and do it the illegal way. The very legal way, because this is recording. Yeah, I did it on the most legal way possible, so shush. Who am I? I am the one and only Cat Noir of Miraculous Ladybug, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Some people call me the Food Fiend. The other half of people call me by my real name, Mr. Podcast, or also known as James. That's my name. The name's James. Because why not? That's my real name, I promise. That's my name now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. My name is James, and welcome back to another episode. Yes, welcome back. Why back? Well, because what else? Am I going to welcome your friend? No, you watched this in the background, so obviously welcome back. Round. Why is the background and why isn't the back like pointy? Why is it called a background and not back sharp? Because if you ever looked at a background or anything, it kind of goes around, wraps around the edges of the scene, right? You don't see like the end of the background. So the background has no edges, it's round. What else doesn't have edges? A circle has one edge, so a sphere. A sphere has no edges, it's very round. Which means that a background must be round. Confirmed. Except for every other background that exists, because none of them are round, they're all flat. Because it's better budget-wise to make a flat round than to make a background. Because, personally, I hate everything and everyone. Why don't you put that in there too? I hate everyone and everything. I'm a very pessimistic guy. But that does not stop me from being an optimistic person when times get tough. You see, my personality does not exist. My personality is a variable that kind of floats around everything. I could act as any person I wanted to, and no one would know the difference. Like, I work as anything. Like, if my personality was just a super pissed off guy, like, I wouldn't be mean to people. But if I was just like a mad guy in general, I could be, and I just was like that forever. People wouldn't doubt that that's me. I could come off as that. I could also come off as like a super positive person too. If I was just super positive all the time, I don't think people would notice that much. right? Unless I just started acting like a very happy person all the time, I don't think people would notice. I think people would only notice I was like super duper mean, like I made fun of everyone all the time mean. But that's not me. I don't do that. I'm a good person. Sometimes. How far are we? 15 minutes? That's like half of the time that I need, and that's fair. It feels like it's only been 13 seconds, which it was last time I checked. 2 times ago I checked. I have a cup here. It just says Super Mix. I don't even know why I have this. I'm gonna throw this away. My garbage can. Okay, bad news. My garbage can is missing. Good news, I know where it is. But for now, I'll put it where my garbage can should be. It is now where my garbage can should be. So, next time I get my garbage can back, I'll put it in there, because what else am I going to do? I'm not going to put the garbage can on top of the cup. The cup was a bunch of those little gummies, probably from Dollarama or something that my sisters had. And they just left it here. So, I don't know why. They could have just brought it upstairs. No, they didn't do that. Instead, I have to suffer living in Alaska, USA. What do I think about the America's New Politics? I don't know, man. That's not even this podcast episode topic. We're supposed to be talking about art here, but I get off track so easily. I can talk forever, but not about one topic. But the point of the podcast is to help me get better at talking about one topic. So I'm gonna practice that. So art. I art sometimes. I even drew the background for this podcast. I didn't. I used a logo maker to design this picture. It worked pretty well, honestly. I tried like a bunch of different ones, and I thought this color looked really nice. And I figure this actually looks really cool. I'm gonna look at my profile picture on my phone, because I think it looks really dope. Dope is such a funny word. But yeah, it's just a podcast. I think the logo is cool. It works. It works for like a full screen background for the podcast. So personally, I think we're doing well. Also, it's been 1 month since my first podcast episode released. What day was that? December 21st, and it is now January 31st. So it's been like a good while. Sometimes I had daily episodes, and then I went through every other day, and now I'm going like once a week episodes. Why? Because I record when I want to. So I don't care about your opinion personally. I'll do what I want, and I want to do whatever I want. So that's just how things go. Because while I may seem like a super smart person, I am far from that. Because I'm in the middle of recording a podcast episode. Because I am recording it because I feel like it. So some of you may think that I cannot spell the word shape. So, to prove that to you, I'll spell it. SHAPE. And it's actually pretty confusing because most people think that I am a more rectangular, shorter shaped person. But that is actually far from the truth because I am a round person. And it's actually pretty difficult. Like, this is actually pretty hard. But I'm getting very off track here. Because yeah, I have nothing to talk about. Let's talk about art. Let's talk about whatever. What's your favorite art? I've seen the Mona Lisa once. Is it a good movie? Yeah, it's pretty good. I wouldn't watch it again, but I understand the appeal. Why does Goku not even hold the gun? He's just a PNG of Goku, and the gun's just floating. Even the skateboard is just floating. And the gun is animated! Why is the gun animated, but Goku isn't? The skateboard's animated. Like, the skateboard, it shows, a front sprite. And then it goes to, a top sprite. The gun has a recoil animation on it. Where the barrel thing ejects or whatever happens with guns. I don't know anything about guns, so don't blame me. Gun episode win. But, yeah, it's a really weird GIF. I don't know why you sent that. Because that's on, because one monitor I have Audacity. other monitor I have Discord, and then my bottom screen is just my background for my computer, which is just no-name background. All running off of my MacBook that I currently have running Windows. So, yay! I'm a good person. No, I'm not. I wish I was. I'll be a good person one day, but for now, I am stuck being a wrench in the metal. Who do I want to be? I want to be the very best. Like, no one ever was, you know? To catch them is my real test, but to train them is my cause. Because I'm planning on traveling across the land, searching far and wide, to teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon gotta catch them all, a heart so true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach me, whilst I teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Good intro. I am bored, so let's read the art Wikipedia page. Wikipedia. Art Wikipedia. Here we go. Artopedia. Art is a diverse range of human activity and resulting product that involves creative or imaginative talent, expressive of technical proficiency, beauty, emotional power, or conceptual ideas. 1, 2, 3. There is no generally agreed definition of what constitutes art, and its interpretation has varied greatly throughout history and across cultures. In Western tradition, the three classical branches... There are three kinds of art, but they messed it up. They said the three classical branches are visual art, painting, sculpture, and architecture. What? What do you mean? Those are not the three kinds of art. The three kinds of art is green, rectangular/squarish, and third kind that I'm forgetting. Like, what are you talking about? I could just go back in my recording and find out what the third kind is, but let's just say it's not. Let's just say it's round. Round art. No. They're wrong here. They also say theater, dance, and other performing arts, both literature and music, fall into other media such as interactive media. Lame. In the perspective of history of art, literally no one cares. Name one person who cares about art. Not me. Not your face. Oh, get wrecked, noob scrub. I made an art yesterday. It's of a French man saying, "Ooh, wee wee." Why did I do that? I don't know, because someone I was looking at a profile picture of one of my friends on Discord, and it was just like a crappy French guy saying wee wee. So I made like a high quality version of it for them to use their profile picture, and they use it now, and it looks pretty cool. But that's like the latest art I've done, is make a stupid profile picture. I like making art. I do it all the time, actually. I make a lot of art. Mostly just digital art. That's all I make. Why digital art? Because it's a lot easier than like physical art. Because all I need is like my drawing tablet and my computer, and I can just make whatever. I don't need materials, really. All I need is the tablet and the computer, which computers are like everywhere. So as long as I have my tablet with me, which I have like a tablet in my backpack, and also another drawing tablet like here on my desk, because I have two of them. I have one, this is a big one, the one on my desk, that I couldn't fit on my backpack if I tried. It's too big. Oh, look at me. No, it took me forever to get this. It took me years to get enough money to get this. But my other small one I've had for quite a while. I've had that since I was really little. Not really little, just like youngish. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, etc. Currently, I am 12 years old. That'll change once I hit November 1st. No, not November 1st. I forgot. November 21st. I'm sorry. I always say my age wrong. I'll be 13 soon. That's why I talk like this. No, I'm not turning 13. You're not stupid. I don't sound 13. I feel like I sound like my age. Like the words I choose to use, as well as the tone of my voice. You can absolutely guess my age. But this is the podcast, and literally all of you, half of you, a strangely small amount of you, because I got like 20 views. I feel like most of you know my age already. It's not. I forgot my age. I just remembered what it was. Damn. I'm old. So. Take that, mumbo jumbo. I'm looking at a picture of a horse right now on the art Wikipedia page. It's like a shell engraved by Homo erectus. Okay, now they're just trolling us at this point. What do you mean? Who is a Homo erectus? I'm clicking on this link. Homo erectus, meaning upright man. Oh, jeez. Jesus. Of course, it's an extinct species of archaic human from the... I can't pronounce these words. The formal generally considered to be the ancestor to Neanderthals. That's cool. They're called Homo erectus. They just mean humans that are standing up. Upright man. That's such a lame name. Homo erectus. What are you doing? Stop. Have a good name, why don't you? Eh? A shell engraved by Homo erectus was determined to be very old. A set of a lot of years old, white-tailed eagles, cut marks, blah 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 blah. Manipulation by Neanderthals, possibly using it for jewelry. That's cool. Well, what do we have here? 26 minutes? I can fill in time. Modernism, the idyllic search for the truth, gave way in the latter half of the 20th century to realization of its unattainability. Theodore W. Adorno said in 1970, "It is now taken for granted that nothing which concerns art can be taken for granted anymore, neither art itself nor art in relationship to the whole, not even the right of art to exist." Relativism was accepted as an unavoidable truth, which led to the period of contemporary art and postmodern criticism, where cultures of the world and of history are seen as changing forms, which can be appreciated and drawn out from only with skepticism and irony. I hate irony. I use it a lot, but I hate it. Furthermore, the separation of cultures is increasingly blurred, and some argue that it's now more appropriate to think in terms of global culture rather than of regional ones. That's true. Because art is as our world has gotten bigger and we've all become more connected through the use of like internet, as well as people as well as us having access to more technology in general, we're a lot more connected to other cultures than we ever were before, which just means that I'm saying this myself. I'm not reading off Wikipedia, but it just means that we have a more globalized understanding of what art is and what our culture is. All of our cultures are now very similar to each other. Like all the cultures of the earth are merging towards the same culture because of how connected we are. We're now becoming one big culture. It's not like one culture is taking over. It's that we're all just averaging out. We're now appreciating art from these cultures, while those cultures are appreciating art from our culture, and together, all that art goes into one big culture, the Earth culture, which is what we're moving towards, and it's all becoming a lot more generalized because you can say, oh, this person here is making Chinese art. Like, what do you mean they're making Chinese art? But that doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't really exist now because, well, we all know of that art existing, so anyone can remake it. In history, when we weren't aware of other civilizations as much, when we made art, other cultures weren't aware of it. So everyone in this region made this art, and everyone in this other region made this art, because they weren't aware of the others. But now that we're all aware of everyone's art, we're becoming a lot more similar in our art styles. And I really don't think it's one art style taking over. It's just all of our arts just combining and being into one flowing art. They're divided into more specific categories here, says on the Wikipedia page, typically along perceptually distinguishable categories such as media, genre, styles, and form. Art form refers to the elements of art. Oh, jeez, the elements of art. It took me forever to write all these for the 3 pieces. Composition, color, contour, dimension, medium, melody, space, texture, and value. Form, balance, contrast, emphasis, harmony, proportion, proximity, and rhythm. These are not what was on the... These aren't... I feel like it's a bit off from what we learned. But Close. They're getting there. Oh, jeez. How much time do we have left? 10 seconds? Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Me just rambling about art at the very beginning, and then switching to a totally new topic in the middle, and then me kind of talking about myself for a bit, and then me coming back to art at the very end half. I feel like in the end half of these videos is kind of where I really hit my stride. But either way, thank you for watching, and now I have to edit this over the course of time. Bye-bye. See you later.